people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
Okay, we'll start with this. Defending WBA Super Flyweight Champion Jasmine Artiga gets the 100-90, 99-91, 97-93 unanimous decision over Stephanie Silva 10-2 to retain her WBA Super Flyweight title. Artiga said in the post-fight interview that she wants to unify next year and collect all of the belts, but did not mention any champion by name, even though there are three. There is Irma Garcia of Mexico, the IBF champion, Mizuki Hiruta of Japan, WBO champion, and newly crowned WBC champion Adelaida Ruiz of the United States, to where if you want to unify, you need to be a little bit more direct. Few interesting particulars in association with this weekend's contest. Even though Jasmine Artiga was recently picked up by MVP, that was not an MVP show she was boxing on. It was a Box Labs promotion. Now, I don't think she's separated from MVP. I think they have the sort of arrangement that allows her to box off platform should an opportunity present itself, and one did. Another interesting particular is that Jasmine has a mandatory in the queue in Natalie Delgado, who's the WBA's interim champion. So, if for any reason she's not unifying next year, she's likely fighting Natalie because at some point she's going to have to. Though given that MVP is behind her, landing a unification match shouldn't be too hard. It's just a question of picking your poison, because some of these fights are a lot easier to win than others. Some. It's really just one. It's really the Irma Garcia fight. I look at Irma Garcia as being the low-hanging fruit compared to the others because, well, she's a lot older than the others. She's in her early 40s already and really not that active. So if what Jasmine wants is to add another title to her collection, she would likelier get Irma's title than, say, Adelaida Ruiz's title or Mizuki Hiruta's title. Both younger than Irma Garcia, and I think both significantly harder to beat. I don't know that Jasmine beats Adelaida Ruiz. Adelaida's a slugger, an artillery fighter, to where if you try to get aggressive with her, she may beat you at your own game. Jasmine has a mean streak. She is a characteristically aggressive fighter, but so is Adelaida Ruiz, and I think punch for punch, Adelaida punches harder than Jasmine, so you may not want to play that game with her. Mizuki Hiruta, the most colorful character at this weight, also has a mean streak, also has a penchant for aggression, though not only that, her boxing really is coming along. Her X's and O's, to where she's more than an artillery fighter, and for me, she's actually the best in show at the weight. Even though there are 4 champions here, Mizuki, to me, is the most impressive. And I don't think Jasmine can beat her. So if what Jasmine wants for the new year are unification matches, well, she better tread carefully, because I don't think she beats Adelaida, and I don't think she beats Mizuki, leaving her with only one option in Irma Garcia. I believe that with MVP behind her, they can make that fight happen. That fight with Irma is a relatively inexpensive fight, and that's her best bet to add another title to her collection. Though at some point, the other 2 champions are going to come a-knocking, because Mizuki has said she wants to unify too. So that puts Jasmine and everybody else in her crosshairs, though she's not the one signed to MVP. It's Jasmine. She's the one with the major promotional outfit behind her, so let's see how she uses it to make something happen.
Any level of it, the business plan, the business model, how the kids fight. Do they even fight similar to each other? It's definitely on any commercial, national commercial, any Ford, any car thing.
Is Floyd Schofield Is your son in any commercials? Does he have any major brand deals? Because if he doesn't, then you're in no position to criticize the Haneys for what they do and don't have.
Have you been on any movie? So me and Bill business thing is totally different. I make so much more money. That might be it. No, but I make so much more money monthly just sitting out of the ring. And it has nothing to do with boxing.
Yeah, everybody's an entrepreneur now. Everybody's their own boss. Everybody's a business guy. Real boxing dads of Atlanta and all that jazz. Look at Mama Sko. Where I don't think he's doing for Floyd what Bill has been doing for Devin. I really don't.
Bill is not me and I'm not Bill. And I'm not loud. Just if somebody come at me, I'm going to go back at them. You know, that it is what it is. But I'm nothing like Bill, or praise be to Bill, but I'm nothing like Bill Haney. He wasn't even raised up in Albany projects like me. He's not from the hood like me. He didn't grow up in a shelter like me. He hasn't been shot like me. He didn't carry guns like me and just get his government rights back. He's nothing like me.
If you get shot and run to the cops, you're not like me. You ain't got no work on the block, you're not like me. It's hot and you ain't got no drop, you're not like me. Like me, dude, you're not like me.
Like Bill is an upstanding citizen most of his life. You know, it's two different upbringings. Me, the only reason people know me is because from day one, Bill came at me and I defended my son. And then people say, oh, Pop is like that. No, that's how he came on the scene, because Bill was lying and coming at my son trying to discourage his brand, try to belittle his brand on lies. So as dad, I stepped up like, nah. And so, you know, any other thing is me stepping up. These people don't know me, but I'm nothing like them.
Could have fooled me, Mr. Schofield. You strike me as another talkative boxing dad who relishes the attention that's supposed to be going to his son.
Going to you.
I'm nothing like them. If anything, compare me more to Jay Prince. More than them, because I was in the music industry for a while, and I also was into my other stuff for a while. So I'm more like that. And then that's the one I admire most out of anybody. Just that this is an exclusive. I looked up to that man for a while because he crossed into boxing from music the same way I had to do. So he was the only thing I could watch, and seeing how he managed and how he maneuvered his pieces on the board. I learned the science of it from him, watching how he moved. Not no Bill Haney, no discredit to Bill Haney. But it's a whole different ball game with Jay Prince from a Bill Haney. But one day you'll see that. People will see that.
Here's what people see. Here's what Devin Haney sees. Devin Haney said, damn, Kid Austin and his daddy really acted like somebody poisoned them to get out of the fight with Shakur. That's still crazy to me. He's got some nerve to be talking about getting shot. You let Floyd Schofield, in his most high-pitched voice, tell a story, and he was a 9-tray gangster, he was sky-high Pyru,
Treetop Pyru, Pyrex,
BMF, BMCC, Borough Manhattan Community College, all of the cool acronyms that used to be cool among the kids of yesteryear. I have certain reservations about a man, Floyd Schofield's age, priding himself on gangsta shit, gangstalicious, gangster-isms.
Some people never grow up, and some people still idolize gangster culture.
Gangster bitch. Sorry if the sale doesn't go over that well in Floyd Schofield's most high-pitched of voices. But he says that Bill Haney was an upstanding citizen. Well, that's how Floyd Schofield Sr. comes off to me. He comes off to me as an upstanding citizen and a good father, which I don't hold against him. I think they both are, but if I were to compare the business acumen of Bill Haney versus Floyd Schofield, at least in this arena, the boxing arena, well, I'd have to say that Bill is doing much more and much better for his son than Floyd Schofield is doing for his. All I see Floyd doing for his son is getting him bad press. Negative press by being in front of the camera too long. And that bad press has yet to translate into dollars. That if you are going to be the heel and the villain and the bad guy, it's got to be for the money. It's got to be for the bag. And Floyd Schofield is not yet in a place where he's making the kind of money that the Haneys have been making.
Let's get it straight. Whether you like the Haneys or not, they've proven themselves shrewd businessmen that know how to get to the bag. More so than the Schofields. It looks like the Schofields are just starting out.
It looks like the Schofields are playing catch-up with the Haneys and trying to do in boxing what the Haneys have already done in boxing. And I don't say this for the love of the Haneys, because I find them annoying too. I say this because there's something different about Bill than the other boxing dads, and he may at times be just as annoying as them. but I don't get the sense that Bill is living vicariously through Devin like what you see with Lopez Sr., like what you see with Floyd Schofield and his son. Bill Haney does spend a lot of time on camera, but it's promoting his son. That's where I think he's different. It's not that he relishes the attention, but he gets it in the name of promotion. Whereas Floyd Schofield, you can see that he loves the camera. You can see that he loves the attention.
Sitting on his comfiest sofa, legs crossed, curled up with a good book, telling you what's on his mind while sipping his chamomile tea. You can notice the difference. Floyd Schofield, like Teofimo Lopez Sr., these guys want to be the attraction. They want to be the stars. They get in front of a camera. It's not about promoting their kid. It's about hearing themselves talk.
I mean, think about it. Why do we need to know about your upbringing? Why do we need to know that you got shot? Why do we need to know who you model yourself after? What the fuck does any of this have to do with boxing?
Not a lot.
You go down that rabbit hole, and it's almost like you're not talking about a sport anymore so much as what's on the periphery, what's on the outskirts. These boxing dads that want to monopolize all the attention and tell the world their life story.
Who asked you?
All the while, Floyd Schofield is sat on the adjacent couch, not saying a word, when one would think he's the one needs to get interviewed. He's the one supposed to have something going on, except he doesn't. And this is how these guys promote themselves in between fights that they bail on, in between fights they pull out of. They just do a bunch of podcasts, bunch of interviews, talking a bunch of nothing.
I was in the music industry. I had a verse on Juicy. My son, Shakur. Let me get a top season 2 loose up.
What the fuck is this man talking about? Half the time. What is Floyd Schofield actually talking about?
Himself.
As far back as I could remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
I swear to God, you go down that rabbit hole, it's like you're not talking about boxing anymore. You're not talking about sports. You're not talking about fights. It's just a bunch of boxing dads talking about themselves.
Am I supposed to be amused? Elsewhere in the world of boxing, ahead of this Friday's mega match on Netflix, Damon Martin says, current look at the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua ticket sales with just 6 days to go until the event. The lowest priced tickets are now going for $62. Blue means an available seat.
With so little time to get the rest of those tickets out, it's conceivable that they may end up papering the house. Whatever remaining tickets they don't sell, they may give away. And if you're in proximity of this event, you may get lucky.
On the night, you might get a free seat.
So what you will notice is that when it was Gervonta Davis, the tickets weren't moving well.
And when it's Anthony Joshua, the tickets still aren't moving well. So how do you, Ring IQ, reconcile saying that this is now a bigger fight than it was when Gervonta was in the main event? What's bigger about it? And it's what I told you. It's not about ticket sales for Netflix. That's not their skin in the game. When Netflix puts together a show like this, and they pay these guys what they pay them, their concern is how many households are tuned in, how many people at home, how many of their existing subscribers all around the world. What makes the ad block valuable is how many millions of people at home are watching, and that's what they care about. Metrics, ratings, not ticket sales. Ticket sales and gate receipts are really for the boxing people. That's really for the promotion to make some money. Netflix's skin in the game is how many people are watching it at home. And I anticipate a lot of people are going to watch this at home because a lot of people already have Netflix. In tandem with Anthony Joshua being the stand-in who brings in an international audience from across the pond that Gervonta Davis would not have otherwise provided. So it is bigger than it was before. Internationally. The optics for the Davis fight were never very good because here you have a lightweight, a short, stumpy, stocky fighter versus a cruiserweight. And even if that cruiserweight is a novice, when you put them both together, it gives off a sort of circus vibe that this can't be real. A lightweight versus a cruiserweight in what is a hybrid pro fight? What even is that?
You gotta come up with a special designation just to get a commission to approve this. It gives off the impression that it's not a real fight, It's not a fight at all. It's sports entertainment. Whereas with Anthony, it's different because Anthony is not using Jake as an exit strategy from boxing.
That's what Gervonta Davis was doing. He was using Jake for a retirement check, whereas Anthony doesn't plan on retiring. He has other plans for the coming calendar year that still require him to sell fights, to have his reputation intact, fights for more money than what he's about to make with Jake, so that if he's boxing Jake, it's a boxing match, not a circus, not a novelty act. And that's where this engagement is different. There is an element of danger perceived here that was not otherwise perceived before, because before, nobody thought that shit was real. This, people think Jake's on a suicide mission. They think this guy must be cashing out. He can't hope to beat Anthony Joshua.
So then why is he fighting him?
Because the Gervonta Davis fight fell through, because Netflix isn't going to accept just any old buddy. They're not going to pay you a big Netflix bag for a Chavez or a Silva or that kind of opponent. He had to find somebody big. He had to find somebody good. And so he did. But that requires him to jeopardize his health.
Oh, he's looking more and more like a real prize fighter.
And that's what a real prize fighter would do. So when the boo birds and the naysayers gloss over the ticket sales and how they're slow to the punch, that's not what Netflix is in it for. That's not why they're kicking out all this money. What they really want is for the people at home to watch it.
No, if the ticket sales were slow with both Gervonta Davis and Anthony Joshua at this same location, what that communicates to me is this is not the ideal location to do a boxing match. Maybe if it were in Las Vegas.
Someplace else in the country. What is more of a boxing town instead of Florida and instead of the Kaseya Center.
But if it's that bad, how did they end up there in the first place?
Did you forget how they ended up there? This wasn't where they were going to do the Gervonta Davis fight. They were going to do it somewhere else. But because they could not achieve approval for a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight, they moved it to Florida with a commission that's a lot more freewheeling. That's how they ended up over there.
Then Gervonta Davis gets himself in hot water, beating up on some girl. He's got to drop out. They can't use him. They contact Anthony on short notice. So here we are. There have been a lot of moving parts that have led us to this point. But as stated, don't get too hung up over how many tickets they do or don't sell. When Netflix's skin in the game is the people at home, not the people that are there.
Jake gets himself knocked out, and I think that he's going to. I don't know where he goes from there. I don't know what happens to his boxing career. There'd be no shame in him losing to somebody like Anthony, but Anthony can really hurt this guy more than anybody he's been in there with. Anthony can hit this guy so hard he puts the fear of God in him.
May not want to box again after that.